Okay, so this is gonna be a mastermind talk right here. My friend Louis invited me because I've seen some solid results in the info coaching space over the past 3 years. I'll get into all that later on in the video. And it's gonna be about really pretty much the only thing that you need nowadays to scale any coaching info offer to multiple 6 figures per month, which is copywriting. I don't care what you're running, paid ads, webinars, VSL funnels, emails, content, it all comes down to copywriting. And I know that for myself because I've taken offers from literally 0 to multiple 6 figures simply because I know how to write paid ads, how to write webinar scripts, how to write VSLs. It's really the only thing that matters nowadays, especially with Meta's AI getting better and better every single day. All you have to understand is who to target and how to write copy to actually convert them, and Meta's gonna do the rest for you. So if you're more advanced, which is what I'm assuming, you're gonna get the most value out of the market research section, the paid ad section, and my 5 copywriting tenets. I use this stuff every single day. I use it to come up with ad ideas, to come up with my webinar slides, to come up with my VSLs, what to talk about in my content, every single thing. The people at the mastermind loved it. I'm sure you're gonna do too. So yeah, enjoy. I wanted to ask a question, just like raise your hands. Who knows how to run a VSL funnel, like the specifics, VSL to the backend, to Typeform, stuff like that? Yeah, most guys, right? Webinars as well, get them to an opt-in page, webinar. Like, most people know like the funnels, like the information about the funnel. And in my opinion, if everybody knows the funnels and the processes, because like, I mean, it's all on YouTube, right? Like everybody has that, like everybody has the free info. If everyone knows how it works, and if everyone is running a similar type of funnel, it really just comes down to execution, because you don't really have an advantage anymore when it comes to information. It's just like everybody's running the same funnel. You have to execute well, and in info, what execution really is, it's just like, it just comes down to one thing, which is copywriting, right? You have to understand how to write copy, you have to understand your market, you have to understand how to do marketing, the fundamentals. If you know that, you can take any offer and you're gonna crush it in every single market, right? Meta ads are copy, webinars are copy, VSLs are copy, like emails are copy, IG Reels, YouTube, everything is copy. It's just like the only thing that you need to understand. I really want to like stress this out, because like most people say, yo, you can just use AI. Comment SOP, I'm gonna send you my SOP to write 100 ads in 10 seconds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work like that. And with Meta's AI, if you just know how to write copy, Meta is gonna take your copy and it's gonna put your ad or whatever it is in front of the right person. So really all it, everything goes into the direction where all you have to do is just understand copy, all right? So if you understand how to do that, you're gonna crush it in every market. That's why I wanted to talk about that today, and specifically paid ads, because I know that Charlie's gonna talk about webinars. So I wanted to get into paid ads. So yeah, in about 35 minutes, you'll be able to write unlimited S-tier ads for high ticket offers. If you are able to write S-tier ads, you're gonna be able to make money, and money is good. So let's get into it, all right? So real quick, so just so you know that I actually know what I'm talking about. My name's Heike. I have the skyline view. That means I know what I'm talking about. I got in the info space in like December 2022. I generated multiple 7 figures for my clients. Took an offer from almost 0 to over $165,000 per month in a couple of months right here. Also recently, just like last month, took an offer from 0 to 45K in 1 month. And it all just really comes down to copyright. Again, like I really want to stress this. I had like this intro right here, like 5-10 minutes, because most people don't really pay attention to it. It is that important. If you don't, I even would go that far. If you don't know how to write copy, you're never going to make money in info. It's a fact. If you don't know how to do that, it's never going to work. All right. So I'm not going to be able to help you become a goated copywriter in 40 minutes, because it's very hard to teach. I was just talking to Marcus about that. It's really, really hard to teach. But I did my best. What I can do is I can give you the right directions. I can give you the right tools and the right belief shift, so you actually start understanding what to do to write better copy, all right? By the end of this, you're gonna be able to write high converting ad scripts and become almost as cool as these guys. Yeah, I mean, like, bro, look at this guy. Like, he's cool. So yeah, let's get into it. By the way, all of this was just like copywriting. I did it subconsciously, by the way. Like when I got here, I was like, yo, what the fuck? I just wrote copy. I mean, I had a hook, I had belief shifts, I had third-party social proof, I had personal social proof, I had open loops, future pacing, human touch, storytelling, slippery slide. I could go on and on. It's really important, okay? So let's jump in. There are really like 2 parts when it comes to writing good copy, and it's 1, market research, understanding the market. If you don't do that, it's like this is the if you know about the 80-20 principle, right? This is the 80% of copywriting. Like literally, if I want to write a webinar, let's say I have 10 hours to write a webinar. Out of those 10, I'm gonna spend 8 on market research. Easily, all right? And then we're gonna get into how to actually write the copy, and I'm gonna do a live copy review if it's logistically possible. But yeah, let's get into market research. So again, I know how to do it. Webinar retention is pretty solid. Webinar CPLs are solid. Organic content, I've like generated hundreds of thousands of views through the copy. Emails as well, this was like 10 grand in like 3 days. If you would have, but like even though I know how to do that, if you would have thrown me in some random market, I don't know, like
what is a random market? Like
Peptides.
peptides. I have no idea about peptides, right? If you would have thrown me into that market, I'd write dog shit copy. Like there's no way I'd be able to write good copy. Why? Because all copywriting is just understanding your ICP, okay? Really important. If you understand your ICP, if you understand their exact thoughts, situation and pain and everything, if you become your ICP, it's gonna be super easy. At this point, like for example, I'm in the app space with an info offer right now. I know so much about apps that I don't even need to do market research. I can just like rip 10 ads off the cuff, just like that, right? Because I understand the ICP. And yeah, then you can use your once you understand your ICP, you can use your copy skills to channel their beliefs in your favor, right? You can't use copywriting to just like make up new beliefs in them. It's not going to work. You have to channel their thoughts that they already have into your favor so that they actually convert, okay? All you can do is convince themselves that your way is better. If you can, like this dude, I think he's pretty famous. If you can accurately describe a prospect's pain in their own language, in their own experiences, you can persuade them to buy whatever your product is. 80% of copywriting. That's why I'm getting into this first, okay? It's like in psychology. If you're like in a psychiatrist's office, it's gonna look like this. They're gonna ask you a bunch of questions. They're not gonna say much. They're not gonna assume anything about you. I don't even think it's legal for them to do that. What they're gonna do is they're gonna ask you guided questions, and they're gonna, I don't wanna say manipulate, but you're basically gonna answer those questions and you're gonna change your own mind. That's what copy is. It's just a tool, right? You just use the tool to get them to convince themselves, all right? Does that make sense so far, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, cool. That's why you must become your ICP. And yeah, so here's how to actually do it without AI. Again, if you want to have my AI SOP, just comment SOP. I'm just kidding. There's two things that you need to understand when it comes to market research and copy. You need to understand who you want to target, which is the persona, and the angles that you can use to actually target them. All right, that's like the only two things if you actually like boil it down to the most important stuff. This is how Meta works right now, the ads. Okay, you just need to know, like you just need to understand who your ad candidates are, right? And then you have to put your ad creatives in, the angles that you use to target these people. What Meta is gonna do is they're gonna take all of your ad creatives, every single one of them, right? They're gonna analyze whatever you're saying in your copy, and if you understand how to write, like to actually get to them, Meta's gonna analyze it. They have millions of data points about every single person who's using Meta, which means if they analyze your copy, like this is post Andromeda, if they analyze your copy and they see your words are pointing towards somebody who's, I don't know, in the Amazon space and they're trying to find good products, maybe they searched about that on YouTube or whatever, or Google, whatever it might be, they're gonna know that. So if they see it in your ads, they're gonna take it and put it in front of that person. Back in the day, like 3-4 years ago, you could even fucking target people with a specific income in Meta. The banks were selling the info to Meta. Like you could in the ads manager, you could say, yo, I want to target people who have more than $50,000, or you know what I mean? Like it's that crazy. All you have to understand is angles and persona. All right. Once you do that, it's super easy. Like I just wanted to. Like, I'm not going to talk about paid ads too much right here, like the specifics. Simon is going to do that tomorrow. But how I do it is it's a broad campaign. I have 25 to 30 unique ads, right? They're all targeting 1 to maybe 2, 3 distinct ICPs, personas, and they're all different angles. So I'm like throwing stuff at Meta. I'm telling Meta, yo, take my ads, see which one of my ads are getting the best cost per result, and spend money on that. Again, Meta's gonna take all of these ads and put it in front of the right person. If you know how to communicate to them, you're gonna make money, all right? That's pretty much it. So let's start with who you should target. What I do is pretty simple. Everybody here can do that. If you have an offer, if you wanna start paid ads, if you wanna start whatever, webinars, I really like to talk to one ICP at a time, if that makes sense, right? I don't want to sell to everybody because then the intent is going to be much higher. So what I do is I take my sales call transcripts, like literally 50, 60, 70, however many you have, and I get the Fathom transcripts and put them through this through this Claude prompt right here. It's going to extract every single call, and it's going to analyze who closed or which persona closed versus which persona did not close, right? So it's going to analyze it. It's going to explain which one of them closed. It's going to explain why they closed, what the angles are that you can use to target them. After this, you're going to have a pretty solid understanding who you should target in the ads, all right? If you want to have this, by the way, I like this cool QR code. Yeah, let me know if this works. I have no idea. You can also just, again, comment AI. I'm going to send it out. Does it work?
Yep. Yeah.
All right, bet. Yeah, this is a solid prompt. I use it every single time when I get on a new offer. So once you do that, you're going to have like an analysis, right? And what I want to stress here is the market awareness levels. Eugene Schwartz, GOAT. There are multiple parts of the market, okay? There are also like most aware, product aware. I did not include them here because like with paid ads, it's going to be hard to target them. But you're going to have unaware people, you're going to have aware people, and then solution-aware people. I have like my own explanation there, which is you have unaware people in the market, you have solution-skeptical people in the market, so they're aware of their problem, but they're not really sold on your solution. And then you have actively searching people. They're aware of their problem, they're aware of your solution, they're just searching for the right type of person to actually get the solution from, right? And while you're doing this right here, okay, again, I'm getting into market research because it's really important. If you do this, your copy is going to be good. Right, if you do this, you're going to have an analysis and you're going to understand, okay, most people probably that are closing are going to be people who are already, let's say it's an Amazon offer. I actually have an example right here. It's a SaaS info offer. Which one of these has the highest intent? Okay, you probably can't see it. Somebody who's stuck in their job with zero idea about SaaS and how it could change their lives, or somebody who realized they need extra income and then they see SaaS as a solid opportunity, but they're not really sure if they should do it. And then you have a third person who's actively searching for solutions. They're already in SaaS, they already have the problems, they already know exactly what it's worth to solve those problems, right? Which one of these is going to close? The third person, right? Obviously. Like that's what you have to do. It's all about intent. If you target solution-aware people, this is like webinar show rates right here. We had like 40+% webinar show rates on cold traffic, 42%, 40%, 36%. We did a problem with our webinar because we wanted to target, like we wanted to sell a low ticket offer. We wanted to test that out, like low ticket ascension. This is like within like a week difference, right? Of who we targeted. We had a 15% webinar show rate, cooked. You know, it's like 60 to 80% less than what we are usually getting simply because we targeted a different person, somebody who wasn't really in the market yet. Does that make sense or is it too technical?
Look at the sign-up rate as well.
Yeah, look at the sign-up rate. It's like, if you, like again, if you want to have like 5,000% sign-up rates, you can ask Simon, he's the go. You can say. Okay, all right, it's all about intent. Find out who your ICP is with this prompt. Find out which one of those ICPs has the highest intent and only go for them, right? If you're writing ads, only go for them. Webinars, whatever it might be, only solve their problems. Don't even talk to beginners. It's gonna be a headache, especially if your offer is not like at multiple 6 figures per month in run rates. That's my opinion. There are offers that are crushing it with beginner messaging, but it's super hard, okay? So you now know how to who to target. Let's get into angles. An angle is an idea, so every single ad is going to have a specific idea, okay? Could be their current set of beliefs, problems that they are experiencing, failed attempts, frustrations, right? There are a few sources that I use to do accurate non-AI made-up bullshit market research, okay? If you use Claude, you're just going to get stupid responses. Again, you can use this at first with the sales call transcripts. You can use Reddit, my number one go-to spot. It's actually crazy. Let's say you're, whatever, what type of offer are you guys running?
Reselling wholesale.
Reselling wholesale, bro.
eBay.
Or eBay, yeah. eBay wholesaling or whatever. Put that into Google plus Reddit. You're gonna find stuff like this, bro. Let's say it's a SaaS offer, right? I'm selling a SaaS info offer. This is your client. If you have this, it's gonna be so easy to write ads because they're just explaining, check this out, bro.
You can copy and paste it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Look, bro, he's asking, how did you actually promote it when you had nothing to start with? No audience, no list, no Twitter followers. Put that into an ad. That's an ad. He's asking it. Don't make it up, right? Where did you, this is about SaaS, by the way. He's trying to build up a SaaS product. Where did your first paying customers actually come from? And then you explain that in an ad. Or this is your client, just take this. Or let's say it's an Amazon offer. I've been researching Amazon wholesale on and off for about 2 years. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I understand quite a bit of the model, but my background is in blah, blah, blah. He's explaining, this story is probably what your clients are experiencing. Every single one of them. Take this, use it for your ads. I'm telling you, if you do market research, probably most of you guys, I don't know, is anyone here in Amazon? In the Amazon? Bro, if you see this, you probably have 10 ad ideas right now, right?
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, AI agency info offer. What's the best AI service to offer right now? He's asking the right questions. If you answer these questions in your ads, they're going to convert because you're in their thoughts. They're going to be holy shit, they probably didn't even say this out loud most of the time, to themselves. So if you're the first person to go ahead and answer, not even just answer their questions, but even ask the questions that they're not really actively asking but subconsciously thinking about, if you ask them in your ad and you actually answer them as well, then send them to whatever it is that you're sending them to, a VSL, a free training, webinar, they're going to convert because they're going to be holy shit, yeah. I have more prompts. You can get this later. What you can use as well is onboarding culture. By the way, what do you guys think about Reddit? It's pretty solid, right? Yeah. So use it. It's really good. Onboarding calls, you can use that as well. YouTube comments, big one. If you're selling whatever, let's say, I don't know, peptides, right? You can go into on YouTube, and the people are actually going to watch the videos, right? And they're going to have questions. Again, Go in the comments, copy every single, like all of the comments, put them into a Google Doc, put them into AI, and AI is going to be able to give you all of the angles that they're asking for. It is really that simple. If you do this, your ads are going to be super fire, right? Also, if you're running webinars, you probably saw it as well. People are asking stuff in the webinar chat as well, every single time. When I'm moderating webinars, the only thing I really do is just like have a Google Doc open, like next to my webinar jam. I just see all of the questions there, and I put them into my Google Doc. Not only do I answer them in the next webinar that I'm going to be running, but I'm going to use that in an ad as well. Like if somebody's asking about, yo, I tried X, Y, and Z, like he's saying that in the webinar chat. Let's say you're talking about marketing, organic marketing for an app. And he says, yo, I tried TikTok. I tried this specific strategy for TikTok. It didn't work because of X, Y, Z. People are actually asking that. They're actually writing paragraphs in those webinar chats. Take that, put it into Claude or whatever, or just write an ad straight from that, answer their question, send them to the free training. That's simple, right? I didn't even get into one single copywriting principle like this far, right? This is all copywriting is, understanding your ICP. Okay, that's how you find your ICP and the angles to target them. Does that make sense? Or is there anything unclear? Okay, cool. Now that we have a clear understanding of our market, we can get into the actual copywriting, right? I spent most of my time, by the way, on the intro and on the market research as like this far because it's that important, right? So, second part, market research, writing the copy. Okay. Again, I won't be able to, there's no way I'm going to be able to teach you the skill of copywriting in 30 minutes. I'd be stupid if I said that. But I did something very interesting. I got into copywriting, bro, 3 years ago. I don't use frameworks anymore. I just do it off the cuff because it's in my brain. It's super simple for me. But what I did is, obviously there are all these you probably know them, AI, DA, whatever, PAS, fucking Pastor, Slap, ICC, whatever. There are all these copywriting frameworks. I don't actively use them anymore. You don't have to, right? But what I did is I took over 100 of my ads, unique ads, not 15 hooks, 2 bodies, unique top to bottom ads. They're actually over 100, and analyzed what I did subconsciously in those ads for this talk. And I actually found out that 90+% of them followed the exact same framework. It was actually crazy. I never looked at it this way. Every single one of them. It's actually insane. SRPA is the framework, okay? It's some sort of PAS, but it's about situation, reframe, proof, ask. I talked about Simon as well, who's also goated at ads. He's using the exact same thing subconsciously. It's actually this is how you would convince somebody in real life. You would explain what they're thinking. You would reframe their beliefs. You would show them proof that the new belief that you just reframed them to is actually true. It works. And then you ask them, yo, go ahead, check out my webinar. This is what I use all the time. Apparently, I didn't know that. It's not that I was using this actively. So as situation, I open exactly where they're standing right now. I know there are a lot of people talking about hooks, having crazy hooks and stuff like that. Sometimes I do that, right? But to be honest, my hook is really just being so specific in the intro of the ad that the people that are listening to that, first of all, I'm only going to attract the type of person that I want to attract if I open on the exact situation, and they're actually going to be hooked, even if I have no crazy fucking cooking hook where I'm cooking fucking pasta, whatever it is, you know? You don't even need a visual hook. What I'm going to show you now, the way he filmed it, he just popped up his iPhone and he just so you're close to launching your app, but deep down you already know you have no idea how to actually get users once it's live. And I get it, you're focused on finishing the app right now, but if your plan for getting users is, I'll figure it out, or yeah, I'll just post some content and run some ads, it's never going to work out. This is from a sales call, literally. And I matched that to multiple sales calls. All of them were just yo, I want to build the app. This is a very nuanced example. It's not really important what it is about. I'm just trying to give you the meaning behind it. All of them were saying exactly this. So if I open with this in an ad, this made us a lot of money, okay? I hook them. I say the ICP's exact situation back to them, so specific, it feels like I'm reading their mind. Would you say this is a crazy fucking hook? So you're close to launching your app? No, right? It's not. It's not something insane, but it's still got a very good hook rate. It's still got a very good cost per lead. I think the cost per lead was sub $8 for a couple of weeks until before it fatigued. Made us tens of thousands of dollars. I say it feels like I'm reading their mind. If they see that, if they've never, this is what they're subconsciously thinking, right? I'll just post them as, yeah, let me focus on finishing the app right now, vibe coded, right? In the back of their mind, head, they're gonna be yeah, I'll just post some content later on, but they probably never said it out loud. So if I'm out there saying exactly that, they're gonna be holy shit. Okay, let me check out what this guy has to say, right? That's the situation. It's also calling out the audience, instead of saying app founders, I say, yo, this is your situation, right? Pretty simple. And then I reframe them, right? I say why what they're thinking is wrong or what they should believe instead. I say, like in this example, I said, you're going to be in big trouble when you launch. See the app founders who actually succeed have their marketing locked in before they go live. They know what content they're going to post. Heck, they probably even started to post. They have the strategy locked in for paid ads. They know how their onboarding and paywall are set up to convert. This is so specific, and I'm showing them that other people are doing that they're going to be like, holy shit, they're doing it, I have to do it too. So I'm reframing their beliefs. I have another example that is more obvious. So this was somebody who wanted to make money with his app, but he's only good at building the app, but can't market it. Again, nuanced example, right? It doesn't really matter, but I'm just trying to explain what I do there. I say the funny part is the devs who are actually making money with their own apps, their code is usually worse than yours, right? I reframe their beliefs. You've probably seen it yourself. Again, I'm channeling their thoughts. They already believe that. You know you can build better apps than 99% out there in the store, in the app store, but yet they're making money and you're not. Why? Because they learn how to market and sell their app before they started building it. That's it, marketing. I was talking to software engineers. That's like, I reframed them from, I have to build the best app because that's what they think, because they have a developer background, right? I reframed that belief into, I have to learn how to do marketing because that's the most important part. And now they have a new thing that they're believing. And since you're the one who introduced that new thought, they're going to trust you. They're going to be like, oh shit, okay, makes sense. Obviously, I have to show proof to actually justify it. So yeah, self-explanatory. I just justify the reframe with proof. Look, my latest app did X million dollars in sales, and I can't build anything. My apps weren't pretty at all, but I still made X amount of dollars. Proof. You don't need a good app. You just need to market. That's the reframe. Confirms the thing that they just newly started to believe, and then ask. It's the last one. I CTA them. Okay, whatever. Like that's like the framework. SRPA. Again, you don't have to like follow it to a T, but this is like I did this subconsciously, and it works every single time when I launch new ads. I follow this. Apparently, again. I have a full ad. I don't know if we should get into it. I don't think it's too important, but yeah, the hook. Again, what I sometimes will do is I'll pull up the situation just like I explained, and then I'm gonna put like a more engaging hook in front of it, right? I can't write a single line of code and I've made more money from SaaS than most software engineers ever will. This is like a more engaging hook, but I still go deep into their situation. I know this sounds crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then I reframe their thought and the situation that they're in. I get into proof and I CTA them. Every single time, apparently. Really, I did not know that. It's actually funny for me as well to see that. I'm learning something too. So yeah, that's the framework. Gets us cost per leads like this. $7 for 1,500 leads, $10, $8, $7. This is pretty solid for webinars, in my opinion. Maybe Charlie can confirm, and Marcus. Obviously, the framework isn't all. And again, I don't really consciously follow it. And I wouldn't say, if you have this framework, you're going to be able to write good copy. But I pay attention to a couple of things consciously in every single piece of copy that I write. By the way, are we on time? Yeah, okay. Which is also making my copy to be good, which is my 5 main copywriting tenets. Tenet number 1, I write copy in 2 phases. It's actually pretty interesting. I got that from one of my mentors, Matthew Walquin. Pretty solid guy, worked with Dan Locke, many big guys. You have 2 phases when you're writing copy, when you're writing webinar slides, ads, whatever it might be, okay? Because you have 2 sides of your brain, right? You have your emotional side and you have your logical side, right? If you go ahead and write an ad, let's say, are you guys writing ads? Like, is it like what you, okay. When you're writing ads, webinars, VSLs, whatever it might be, and you're constantly like in the creative mode, so you're writing something and trying to come up with new stuff for the script, and then you, in the same moment, you're editing it while you're writing, it's not gonna work. First of all, it's gonna take so much time to actually finish that piece of copy. You probably know that because you wanna make it perfect. So what I do is, at first, I don't even use my like backspace thing. I don't delete whatever I'm writing at first, right? I just write it out. I let my thoughts flow, okay? And while I'm doing that, obviously it's gonna be like a bit shit, right? But it's gonna I'm gonna put out a lot of creative stuff that I'm probably gonna be able to use later on, okay? That's step one, number 1. Step number 2 is I'm gonna leave it. Like, let's say I'm writing 10 ads, I'm gonna script it, like rip it like that without deleting anything. I'm gonna let it sit for like an hour or 2. Gonna go out, I don't know, go to the gym, go drink. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna edit it, right? That's how I write copy. Every single one. I would say most of the people should write copy like this. It's gonna make your life easier, okay? Tenet number 2 is the human filter. Who is using AI to write copy, like Claude, genuinely? Like you? Okay, how does it sound? Simon, or whatever.
Ask my mentor.
Ask my mentor.
Yeah, Tyler gets a crack of the belt when he sends me his ads.
Yeah. Louis said that as well. He wants to rip his ears off. It sounds so shit, right? If you're using AI. Yeah, exactly. You can use AI to write. I'm not saying you shouldn't use it because it would be stupid. Why not just use it, right? But you have to let it go through a human filter. It's not a prompt. Okay, it's not a fucking prompt to let AI make it sound more human. That does not work. I don't know who said that. So you have to write as you would talk, okay? even if you use AI for the first part, like I wouldn't do it, but if you want to use it, you have to go through it again without AI and make it sound human. You know those like simple, like short sentences, back to back to back, that AI is doing, or like, yeah, like, yo, it's not this, it's actually this, or it's not, you know, like all these AI slop, bro.
You don't have a positioning problem.
Yeah, you have this, bro. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, bro. If you sound like this, yeah. Can I comment as of actually? If you sound like that, it's never gonna work. No way, no way. Okay, you have to write as you would talk. It's gonna make it sound. You have to sound natural, right? Your ads have to be native. Again, I'm talking about ads specifically. It works for everything. Your ads have to sound natural to make them feel native and perform, right? With Instagram, I don't even know if that's new, but back in the day, you would immediately know that it is an ad because it had like this ad fucking thing. It showed that it was an ad. But right now, like when you're scrolling on Reels, the first like literally 3 to even 5 seconds, which is a pretty long time, the ad thing doesn't pop up. It looks like a reel, right? It looks like that. If your ad sounds native and looks native to the platform, they're not even gonna notice that it's an ad until the thing pops up. I don't know how to explain it, right? So you have to sound natural and native to the platform so that you actually get good hook rates and stuff like that. If it sounds like AI, it won't sound natural. If it's not natural, it sounds salesy. If it's salesy, your ads won't perform. That's simple, okay? That's copywriting tenet 2, sound like a human being. Don't be stupid. Just just write as you would talk, okay? You can even use fluff words, right? Most people say you have to have it super short, which is true. Your thoughts in an ad should be super short, but you should have like fluff words or whatever in order to, there's a Okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, we're good. Right as you would talk, okay. Rule number 3 is rule of 1. Each ad is pretty self-explanatory. Each ad or piece of copy, with VSL, whatever it might be, should have one main angle, right? If you're, let's say I was just talking about like how to market an app, right? I was just talking about that. If I put in another angle, right, a second angle in there, which is like talking about conversion, right? I was just talking about marketing. If I put conversion into it as well, there's no way it's going to work because it's going to have 2 ideas. People are going to be like, they're going to leave. They're not going to be able to understand what you're saying, right? One main angle. Copywriting Tenet 4, this dude is so cool. His name's Joe Sugarman. You know that, whatever. Slippery slide, that's what he calls it in his book. This was actually the first book that I ever read before any courses. I got biz up with a YouTube video and bought this book immediately. And I thought I would make 10 grand in the next 2 weeks, but yeah. I call it the waterfall test, okay? That's what he calls the slippery slide, waterfall test. Your copy has to flow from, like flow is king, right? Your copy should flow perfectly well from the first to the very last fucking word, right? Obviously, it's not always possible. You're gonna have like hard stops, which is what I call them. If you write, like if you read your copy or like speak out loud what you're writing, and you have like stops there, it's not flowing well. I don't know how to explain it, but it's pretty obvious. You're gonna see when it doesn't flow well. It's like a bus stop, right? I call it hard stops, but it works like bus stops. However many you have, you're gonna lose passengers, right? If you have a hard stop, like let's say you're flowing, it's like flowing like a waterfall, and then you have like a new idea that you're introducing or whatever, and there is a hard cut, like a stop while you're talking, and you're introducing a new sentence, whatever. It's like a bus stop. People are gonna leave, which is cool, but you want to have as minimal of these hard stops as possible. The first word to the very last one, if it flows well, I know it's gonna work. Like I also know that while I'm writing it out. Like when I'm writing it out, I always speak it out loud as well in parallel. I know for a fact it's gonna work or not, okay? Flow is king, more flow. Again, it's all about sounding natural in copy. Again, it's very hard to teach copy. I can just like give you like the main things you should focus on. These are the 5 things that I actually like every single piece of copy that I write. This is what I go through every single time, okay? It's not like the frameworks that are very important, it's this stuff. If you have more flow, it's gonna sound more natural. If you have more natural flow, it's gonna sound less salesy, which is what you wanna get to. And if it's less salesy, you're gonna write better ads. Better ads is good, okay? Copywriting Tenet 5, honesty. We're in the info space, we all know, like everybody's lying. Every single fucking person's lying. It's actually ridiculous sometimes, okay? Everyone's lying, and they're over-promising, they are stretching the truth, right? You know when it's like half true, and they're like really fucking stretching it, right? It's obvious, it's obvious. People are not stupid. The people, they're actually pretty smart. They know what you're doing there, okay? Don't try to sound smart, or like big promises that are just like stupid. I'll build you an AI agency and it's gonna cash flow you $35,000 MRR, or you don't pay and it's gonna run without you. Like, I'm not stupid, you know? If you just stay legit and straightforward and actually say you're not gonna make 10 grand, you're not gonna do this, there is no way you're gonna be able to market your app in the next 2 weeks. If you're very straightforward and legit and honest, they're even gonna appreciate it because you're like the only person in the market who's honest, right?
And you filter the retards.
Exactly. Yeah, that's funny that you say that. Check this out. Yeah. They'll naturally trust you more because like you're the only person who's not yapping, right? You'll attract higher quality clients because like, yeah, you're gonna have less refunds, especially if you're, who here is using financing options, Split It, Clarity Pay.
Yes.
Yeah, using through WAP.
Yeah.
Bro, if you use WAP and Split It and you're attracting low quality clients, they can be in your program for like 6 months, 8 months, however long the payment plan is going to be. And like, let's say after a year they want to have their money back, they're just going to like if they click on refund on WAP with Split It, it's an automatic refund. You lost your money. Like you lost your money. We had that happen multiple times. Okay. If you're using financing options, you have to be more, like you have to pay more attention to this right here. Okay. Don't lie. Be honest. Otherwise, you're going to be fucking. It's a hard time. Everybody's just like refunding and you can't do anything because you already delivered the service and your service is genuinely good, but they're just stupid, right? Don't do it. Oh yeah. Plus you're a standout, as I said, and standing out is good. Okay, so that's all you need to go and write winning ads and every other form of copy. You can just take the 5 tenets right here and apply to everything. Do market research, only attract high intent leads. Again, you remember the meta graph, right? You have to understand who your ICP is. Have good angles, Meta's going to take your angles. If you're talking to the right type of person, you're going to attract them. If you only talk to the right type of person, even better. You're going to have high webinar show rates, you're going to have high call show rates. Everything's going to be better. Do your market research, understand who you want to target, only target solution-aware leads, right? And then follow whatever, like SRPA. I don't pay too much attention to it. It's just it was interesting. And you guys, if you're not writing too much copy, you can use it for sure. But then you're going to vary it yourself. Run each piece of copy through the 5 copywriting tenets that we just went through. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we have
Thank you.
5 minutes for questions.
Okay.
Last questions and then.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned like firstly do the raw stuff yourself and then edit it with AI.
Yeah.
My problem is like I understand all the stuff, like it's good, but I have a hard time like being like initiating everything. Like,
Yeah.
Thinking first. Like,
Check this out. So while you're writing it, like you're probably like, do you have writer's block before you even start writing, or is it like more while you're writing, or both?
More while.
While, right? So let's say you're starting to write the copy. Just in that case, you can use AI. You can put it into AI. Say, yo.
I made it like started and then I like edited myself. Like
Wait, what is? So the question is, you're having a hard time while
starting from zero.
Yeah.
Thinking like creating the app from scratch.
Yeah.
The hook and everything.
Exactly.
It's hard. It's easier for me to edit something, make it better, but it's harder for me to create it from scratch.
I see. So the question is like, how can you make the edit, like the writing part easier from scratch?
How can I like train my brain to maybe be like create more?
Yeah, that's like the thing with copyright. It was pretty hard for me to put this together. It's very hard to learn, like to teach you copy. It's just about the more you write, the more words you're gonna have in your mind, the more phrases you're gonna have, no matter what type of offer you're running it for. And like naturally, it's going to be better and better and better. You're running a UGC offer. Yeah. The more you understand the ICP as well, the more you're in that market. That's crazy. You're gonna, yeah, exactly. That's why, yeah, exactly. But if you have a writer's block, while you're writing out, just use AI. Plug it into AI. Say, yo, I'm here right now with my ad. I'm having a writer's block. I have no idea how to continue. It's going to give you like the next 2 lines, and then you're going to be like, holy shit, yeah, this makes sense. Let me take those 2 lines and continue flowing. That's what I do when I have writer's block. Does that answer the question? Yeah. Okay. But any more questions?
I was going to say, it kind of ties to what I spoke to Louis about earlier with the hiring is, I don't know obviously how many people you have under you, but
yeah.
Once you get like a copywriter on, how can you continue to keep progressing your skills whilst you're having them write for you? Or is it more a case of giving them the lower leverage piece of copy and just focusing on the strategy? Or
yeah, that's actually hard. Most copywriters right now, it's so hard to hire a copywriter, you know that? I'm lucky because I have like a little brother that I'm training up right now. Same with Simon. He's really dialed in with copy, but when he started out, he had no idea. Like he never wrote a line of copy. I would say if you want to have a go-to copywriter, invest like 1, maybe 2, 3 months training them up, and they're going to be really solid. They're going to be able to write like you. That's my opinion. You can also take somebody who's already at step 1, not step 0, and train them up from there. But I think if you want to have like a good copywriter, you have to train them up. That's my opinion, because that's how I learned. If you have a very solid copywriter, it's also going to be very hard. Like if you have a really, really solid copywriter, it's hard to hire them for an agency. They're probably just going to do it themselves. It's a very hard position to hire for, 100%. Yeah, I hope that answers the question somehow. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? All right, cool. Yeah.
You're going to have a brother.
Yeah. That's true. Or Simon. You can also have a Simon, it's gonna make sense. No, but yeah, take somebody. You don't have to, like, it doesn't have to be a friend. It could also be some copywriter that you're hiring for. Interview them, get them to write you a piece of copy, whatever it is. See if they have like these 5 copywriting. Fuck the output. Like, it's not important like how, if it's gonna convert from the get-go. If you see that they're actually good at writing natural copy and it doesn't sound AI, you have somebody who's actually worth putting work into, in my opinion. If it sounds AI, clause scripted, there's no way that person's gonna be good at copy. Or like even, probably they're also lazy. But yeah, okay. Does that answer the question? Okay, but anything more?
I actually want to ask something.
Yeah.
Also, just to see it from a copywriter perspective. Like, I'm in sales, and I think a lot of info offers could relate to this. Like, usually B2C especially, they have this objection of like, why don't you just do XYZ business model and make more money? If you've already made X millions with SaaS, why are you teaching me? Like, why do you need me? And that, like, how would you shift that mindset, like that belief in them, in the copy or in a webinar, wherever?
I have 20 slides in the webinar while I'm doing exactly that. It's actually funny. So it's very offer specific, right? Sometimes it's not possible to do what I'm gonna say now, but what I do is I'm running a SaaS product, right? It is in the same space that you're in right now. It's gonna help you. So if I get you as my consulting client, whatever it might be, I'm gonna be able to take you to my SaaS. You're gonna get good results from my SaaS. And that way I'm gonna scale my SaaS as well. So I'm actively scaling the business that I'm actively running right now.
So you make more business.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
You kind of show your hands that you're going to benefit as well.
Yeah,
later on.
exactly. I say that, like, literally. Yeah, I say, yo, check this out. This was the SaaS business that I'm running right now. I just showed you how much money it's making. I want to scale it, and I want to help you too, right? If you get into this program, you're going to be able to use the product, right? Use the SaaS business that I have. If you use the SaaS business, you're going to be a good testimonial for me because I'm going to be able to actually help you use it. I'm going to help you get results. You're going to get good results from my SaaS. You're going to get good results from my consulting company. It makes sense, right? Does that make sense?
This with the SaaS though, because like SaaS can be used by them.
Yeah.
If it's like let's say just coaching.
Yeah.
Like,
what type of coaching?
let's say YouTube automation.
YouTube automation. So the question is, how can you justify selling a course with the YouTube automation? Look, the thing is, some niches won't have that. You can be I don't know too much about YouTube automation, so
Like trading. Trading is
trading.
a big one. Like,
Yeah, trading is
Why don't you trade and make money? Why do you teach?
yeah. This one's pretty, like, the way I have a couple of trading clients. I've made a lot of money in the trading space. It's pretty simple. In trading, you are not, like, the way I justify it is, yo, I'm not trading for too long in the day. I have so much free time. Why not just, like, it's also counterintuitive. Like, it's not going to help you get results if you trade too much, right? So I have this much free time. Why say no to money and why say no to getting you results? Again, be honest, right? Okay, does that answer the question? Okay, cool.
I was about to mention also, like, in the same issue, you can be honest. Like, it's the same way you throw rocks at the game. You're saying, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I make more money and I also help you.
Exactly.
Because you're calling out other people, like, I'm doing it for the good sake. You can be honest, because if the person is actually like decent, like, he will understand. Yeah, you want to make more money, and if you're being honest, like, that means you're actually
100%. Yeah, you have to be honest. Yeah, honesty. Copywriting tenet number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions?
I think we're good.
All right, cool.
Thank you so much.